there are many different routes, in fact. So, for example, there's something that's called the fast stream. So this scheme is aimed at people who've got really high potential. And so you go through a selection process, and many people, they'll come down right to the last one or two sort of boards and just not be successful. But it's a really great way to get yourself a lot of different experience across a lot of different ministries before you decide perhaps which one you want to specialise in. So that's one way you can join, and that tends to be graduate and beyond level. Now, you can join an individual department, as we call them, or ministries, as some will still call them, and those sort of jobs are freely available. You can find those online, and for many of those you don't need to have a degree. You need to have your basic level of maths and English and other qualifications, and it really does depend what sort of role that you want. So for example, if you are having more of what I'd call a citizen focused role, so you might be in a job centre helping people to locate a job after unemployment, or someone coming back into the workplace, maybe for example after suffering from COVID related conditions. The skills and attributes there will be much more people focused. You'll need to have more sort of coaching experience, and you'll need to have more skills dealing with perhaps having difficult conversations and showing personal resilience. If you're working in policy, they might, but not necessarily, be looking for degree level experience. They might want experience of people who've worked in businesses in the past. So there are lots of different sort of routes to entry. It really just does depend on what the focus is at the time, and secondly, what the level of vacancies are. So perhaps similar to some countries, I would observe there are cycles for recruitment. So sometimes there are freezes on recruitment. In other words, we mustn't recruit anyone else for the next year. And other times there's a real crisis. There are insufficient number or the types of civil servant that are needed. So just as an example, Gaurav, one of the main areas that people are looking at the moment are around digital skills. It's not a skill set that a civil servant who might have been in for 10 or 15 years would necessarily have. So, your recruitment pool and strategy needs to be different. And so some departments will bring people in for maybe a year or 2 years, or even on a secondment basis. And I think that's a really good idea to build the complementary set of skills that a modern civil service needs nowadays.